I think I better hurry and get this guy out. It looks like he's under pressure. Here's a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys Music Maniacs Queen frontman Freddie Mercury. This Freddie Mercury figure is based on his look from the Live Aid 1985 performance. This 6-inch figure features a Freddie Mercury likeness designed with up to 12 points of articulation for posing and play. Freddie Mercury accessories include mic and mic stand, and also includes our card with numbered certificate of authenticity. How about the first thing that we do is grab the tape measure and let's see just how... No, don't stop me now. We're going to just see how tall frontman singer Freddie Mercury stands. And while I'm doing this as well, I'd like to thank the folks over at McFarlane Toys that kindly provided this sample we could have a look at. If you are asking, though, just how tall Freddie actually is, the answer to that is 6 inches in height, or the figure is going to be 15 centimeters tall. Mercury's accessories will include first a trading card, but it isn't just a trading card alone. On the front, it may look like a card, but it's not until you flip around to the back. It also doubles up as well as a certificate of authenticity. It's signed on the top by Freddie Mercury. Down below, it's signed by Todd McFarlane. And in between that, it tells us that this certifies that this is a limited edition worldwide product. Freddie Mercury figurine is authentic and officially licensed by McFarlane Toys. The figurine was created, developed, and designed by Todd McFarlane and his award-winning design group. The limited run of 14,400, the one that was provided to me, though, is P3. It's a nice-looking card, though, although I'm kind of confused as to why they didn't find a way to integrate it into the included stand. The stand, you may be asking, happens to be over here. It's cast only just in black plastic. Does have 2 pegs that can attach to either one or both, for that matter, of Freddie Mercury's boots. And then there's a socket joint that will attach to the mic stand. But on the back, though, I feel like this could have been an opportunity that if they had put a slot here, for example, maybe they just didn't do that because, I mean, it's a small base already. And then you take a figure and then you put it on top of those pegs. Maybe there just wasn't going to be enough quarters to accommodate a stand as well for the card. So the card itself, I really don't have a place for. I might just end up, while collecting the other rest of the Music Maniacs, I might just find myself putting them actually in my trading card sheets with the rest of my DC Multiverse figures. Let's move that off to the side. As already well mentioned, though, the display stand is all cast here in black plastic. Don't have the character's name. I think it would have been nice if they had found a way to incorporate Freddie Mercury's signature on the front, and then all future Music Maniac figure releases could have also had something similar as well, the signature of the character on the front, or the singer on the front. As mentioned, though, already, he does come included with the mic stand. Now, you don't have to have this necessarily attached onto the stand. Freddie generally would be going across the stage, usually just carrying around the mic stand like this in his hands. But if you wanted to, all it is just a ball joint on the bottom of this, and then just this sockets into the base. And now you've got yourself a free-moving base, well, free-moving mic stand or mic neck. If you want to have it more swayed to the side, you can do that also as well. And at any given point, don't feel like you're committed to the idea. You can just remove this altogether, and you can have Freddie holding the mic instead. Now, the figure does have gripping hands, so if you wanted to, the hands themselves, a little more of a harder plastic than I was expecting it to be. But you can get yourself the mic. Get in there. You can get the mic in one of his hands, and then you can also do the exact same thing on the other hand. The only thing, unfortunately, that is... the figure's a bit relegated when it comes to his posability. We're going to talk more about that more in a moment. But again, if you want to get the mic into his hand, we'll just pry the fingers back a little bit away. And then you can have the character kind of singing into his mic like he usually does on stage. Obviously, I just don't have the hand completely holding on to the mic, but you get the idea. Let's remove that. We'll put it off to the side. We're going to be coming back to that later to get to the final looks of the figure. All in all, I will say right from the beginning, I think they've done a nice job and a tribute to Freddie Mercury. I think the likeness is definitely there. They went with more of the open mouth because it makes sense, I would imagine, with Freddie Mercury belting out some of the classics from Queen. It would probably make the most sense then his mouth would be open. Now, he doesn't have a singing mouth necessarily, but I think the sculpting is nicely done here. I always prefer to have Freddie Mercury myself with the mustache. One thing I would love to see them release down the road is a yellow jacket version of this guy. Of course, he does have the little bracelet there on his bicep. A tank top tee, all done here in white. Of course, just standard jeans down below here as well, and his trademark white sneakers. Peg holes mentioned already are on the bottom of the figure's feet, so you can attach them onto the display stand. Here's, though, where I have one issue with the figure, is that they've kind of based the articulation on these ones kind of around the same thing as what they did with the 66 Batman series figures, in that he does have articulation here fine and good in his arms, and he does have just a single hinge in the elbows. But then, unfortunately, though, he can't do anything with the legs. You can sure bring them forward and you can bring them back. I know we're kind of already talking about the territory of opposability on this figure. But with only being able to do this, Freddy is one that was very active and moving across the stage. He would command an audience, but I just don't feel like he's able to command it as well with the very limited levels of articulation that they gave for his legs. If they had only found a way to incorporate ball joints, hinge joints in his legs, where you'd be able to spread the legs as well. Because without that, the only thing unfortunately you're able to do really is just a straight forward and back swivel. That is the only issue I really have with the figure. He's a little bit smaller than other standard size figures. I guess I probably could have also brought in as well in a movie Maniac figure to give you guys an idea. He's certainly, though, by comparison's sake, and I would imagine this would be a trend that's going to continue with the rest of the music Maniacs, he is, though, a figure that's going to be a lot more posable than the movie Maniac variety. All in all, though, again, like good-looking head sculpt, paint's really well done here on the back of his T. They've even got like little pulled areas, like wrinkles that would develop, of course, if you're stretching that across a human body. He has only, again, like single hinges in the elbows. I mean, again, like I would have liked personally in a perfect world that this figure could have had double hinges in the elbows. Maybe they just, again, wanted to keep these a little bit more limited. Maybe it's also perhaps as well because the licensing for some of these figures to acquire that based on, of course, the famous singers probably would be a little bit more expensive. So they maybe tried to save the cost a little bit by trimming back a little bit of posability on this guy's, not only on just Freddie Mercury, but like, again, all the Music Maniac figures. Now, again, for the articulation, I know we already kind of covered a little bit of that for the jeans, but starting, though, with his head, the head's going to be on a ball joint, so it allows the head to rotate all the way around. You can't really do too much when it comes to bringing the head up, though. Bringing it down is about the same as well, and even moving it back and forth. I think it's only more just a ball joint in name only. Maybe it might even be a peg joint, because, again, like you can't really do too much when it comes to rotations here. As for the arms do rotate, I would say normally all the way around. They sort of get a little hung up here when you're trying to move them back like this. And again, you'd normally be able to rotate these all the way around, but you can really feel there's some friction when you start to turn the arm like that. The figure does have a swivel, of course, in his elbow. It also allows a elbow hinge, and of course you can take the hands and rotate them all the way around. Freddie Mercury does also have a waist swivel. But again, like here's the thing, like the legs only being able to move forward and back like this. I mean, really, when you look at the display stand too, there's not a whole lot of space that could be occupied by feet. You could still, of course, bring the legs forward. And again, with the legs, you can also bend them back too. I mean, that's a pretty silly way to pose Freddie Mercury, if I could be honest about that. But I mean, again, maybe that's one of the reasons also why as well the display base is so small. Because again, you can't really bring the legs out all that much. Forward motion on the legs about that far. Back motion on the legs that far. There's also a single hinge in the knee. Allows the lower leg to rotate, so you can also get a little bit of a pose going on there as well. And then again, there's no articulation here for the feet. If we were to all tally that up, so again, we got 1, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And of course, we got to do that on the other side as well. So yeah, 12 points of articulation for Freddie Mercury. The sculpt is good. The accessories, again, while being a little bit more limited, at least he comes included with a display stand. And he comes included, of course, with his mic neck. Would that be calling a mic neck? Comes with that also as well. Between those things, I guess he comes with the things that you would expect Freddie Mercury to have. I mean, again, there really isn't a place to store the trading card, so if anything, I'm just going to probably put this back in my trading card sheets for right now. I like the look of Freddie Mercury, although, honestly, if I could be fair, I really wish this guy could have had a little bit more posability. Not so much in the arms and the shoulders, like in the elbows, they're fine. Even with just a single hinge in the elbow, I think I can get behind that. I just feel like the figure should have had a little bit more hingeability, if we want to call it that, at the top of the thighs. Other than that, though, I'm really impressed with what they've done here. And this is only the first Music Maniac I've had the chance to have a look at on this channel. If this sets the bar, which it already has, pretty high when it comes to likeness, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to be doing with the rest of the Music Maniac line. Queen frontman Freddie Mercury's appearance, again, is inspired by the way they looked at Live Aid 1985. Now, if you haven't already had the chance to watch one of the best concerts around, after this video is done, look up Queen's performance Live Aid 1985, considered by many, and I say many, as one of the greatest band performances of all time. Now, if I was to be a stickler for detail, perhaps one of the things that they could have also done to make this look the most accurate to that performance is probably colored the mic neck and the mic a silver instead of black. They probably just decided to mold it in black plastic just because the base is already doing that anyways. It's, again, just a little bit of a detail. I probably could have easily just gone in there myself and painted the neck and the mic. I don't know if I'm going to really do that or not. The figure does have some decent levels of posability from his waist up. From the waist down, though, he's a little bit more limited with what he can actually do. Swiveling forward and back is about all you can really do with the tops of his legs. At least he does have better posability from his knees down. The figure does have quite a captivating likeness to the late Freddie Mercury, one of my favorite bands of all time. I think Todd and his team have done a tribute to the late singer. What do you guys think of this figure? Let me know down below in the comments section. Have you also been a big fan of Queen? And if you are, I don't want to say what's your favorite Queen song, because there's probably several that you have. Let's just say, what's your top 3 favorite Queen songs? Let me know down below in the comments section. Once again, though, I'd like to thank the folks over at McFarlane Toys that did provide this sample of the brand new Music Maniacs Queen frontman, Freddie Mercury. If you guys did enjoy this video, do it a solid, throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Hit that subscribe, turn on that bell, and of course come back. Even though we are wrapping things right now in the genre of music, there is, though, going to be some more McFarlane Toys stuff coming your way. So, of course, making sure you're coming back to this channel. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.